As I revealed your photo to my family, the room fell silent, their eyes locking onto the image on my phone. It was a snapshot of a serene moment, one that had captured the essence of your beauty. The soft sunlight had danced across your face, illuminating your gentle smile. My family's reactions were a mix of intrigue and scrutiny. My mother's gaze lingered, her expression a blend of warmth and caution. "She's lovely," she said, her tone laced with a hint of curiosity and a dash of reservation. It was as if she was searching for answers in the pixels on the screen, trying to gauge the depth of our connection. The room was filled with a mix of reactions as my family absorbed the image of you. My father's thoughtful silence spoke volumes, his crossed arms and slow nod conveying a sense of consideration. My sister, on the other hand, was more outspoken, her smirk and raised eyebrow betraying a hint of amusement. "So, this is her?" she asked, her tone laced with curiosity. I confirmed with a steady voice, and my sister's gaze lingered on the screen. "She's not what I expected," she said, a playful glint in her eye. I raised an eyebrow, intrigued by her assessment. "What were you expecting?" I asked for a mix of amusement and curiosity. My sister's shrug was nonchalant, but the word, different, hung in the air, carrying a weight of unspoken questions. My mother's gentle exhale marked the end of the silent scrutiny, and she turned to me with a serious expression. "Tell me about her," she said, her tone inviting a deeper conversation, one that went beyond small talk. As I shared stories about you, my family's curiosity was palpable. I spoke of your quirky laugh, your unwavering conviction, and your kindness. My father's nod was a slow, deliberate gesture, his eyes narrowing slightly as he processed every word. The room was heavy with unspoken questions, but one query stood out: "Does she make you happy?" I responded without hesitation, my conviction clear. The silence that followed was a collective pause, a moment for my family to weigh their thoughts. The tension was broken by my sister's mischievous grin. "Well, if she makes you happy, I guess we'll see if she survives meeting us in person," she said, her words laced with playful skepticism. The room erupted into laughter, and my mother's knowing glance locked onto mine. "She's important to you," she stated, her voice firm and perceptive. My father's forward lean signaled a shift in the conversation. "Then we'll give her a chance," he said, his words a tentative opening, a willingness to get to know you better. With each calculated move, she reshapes your reality, distorting the lens through which you perceive yourself and your worth. When the inevitable hurt arrives, you'll find yourself shouldering the blame, apologizing for transgressions you don't even recognize. Your sole desire will be to repair the rift, to resurrect the fleeting illusion of perfection she initially presented. As you navigate the intricate web of emotions, beware of the siren song that may lure you deeper into her grasp. Heed this final warning. Don't be seduced by her charm, for once she's exhausted your emotional reserves, she'll vanish, leaving you with a shattered heart and a deep-seated mistrust of love. A glimmer of hope flickered to life, as my family's words hung in the air, a tentative acceptance that felt like a fragile promise. The weight of their willingness to give you a chance settled within me, a mix of relief and anticipation. My mother's gaze lingered on the photo, her fingers drumming a slow rhythm on the table. There was more she wanted to say, but she chose her words carefully. Finally, she spoke, her voice soft and contemplative. "She has a kind face." At that moment, I knew exactly what she meant. Kindness was the cornerstone of our family, the foundation upon which we built our relationships. It was a quality that mattered deeply, and I knew my mother saw it in you. "She does," I replied, my voice steady. My father's question broke the silence, his curiosity getting the better of him. "What does she want?" he asked, his interest piqued. The conversation was a subtle probe, a way to gauge your place in our world. "She's working on something she's really passionate about," I said, trying to convey the depth of your drive without sounding overly defensive. My father's interest was piqued, his eyebrows rising slightly as he processed the information. Ambition was something he respected, especially when it was genuine. She asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. I hesitated for a moment before answering. "She's nervous." I explained that you understood the importance of this moment. For some reason, that answer seemed to resonate with my family. The knowledge that you cared about making a good impression, that you understood the significance of this moment, seemed to put them at ease. My parents exchanged a glance, one of those silent conversations that only comes from years of marriage. A moment of hesitation hung in the air before I responded, "No, not yet." My mother's expression was thoughtful, her lips pursed slightly as she nodded. "She should know," she said, her voice a gentle yet firm reminder. In that instant, I understood the weight of her words. This wasn't just a casual introduction, it was a significant step, a doorway to a new connection. My father's slow exhale was a sign of contemplation, his nod a signal of agreement. "All right," he said finally, his voice decisive. "Is she ready to meet us?" The question hung in the air, a turning point in our conversation, and a step toward a new chapter. The weight of my father's question hung in the air, a sense of anticipation and expectation settling over the room. "When do we meet her?" he asked, his tone firm and decisive. I glanced around the room, meeting the gazes of my family members. My mother's expression was neutral yet expectant, while my sister's eyes sparkled with amusement. I hesitated for a moment before responding, "Soon," though the word felt uncertain on my lips. The truth was, I wasn't entirely sure if you were ready for this step. Meeting my family wasn't just a casual encounter, it was a significant commitment, a step that carried weight and meaning. "She needs time," I added, feeling my way through the conversation. My mother's nod was thoughtful and measured, while my father's expression remained skeptical, his eyes narrowing slightly as he considered my response. My father's inquiry was direct, his voice steady and inquiring. "Time for what?" he asked, his eyes locked onto mine with interest. I paused, collecting my thoughts before responding. Life, as we know, is a masterful weaver of unexpected twists and turns. Just when we think we've got the script memorized, the plot unfolds in ways we never could have imagined. And it's precisely this unpredictability that makes life so rich, so vibrant, and so worthy of exploration. As I share this significant update with you, I invite you to join me on this uncharted path, where the unknown beckons, and the possibilities are endless. Were we ever genuinely in love, or were we merely playing out a scripted role? I began to wonder if my perception of you was a fabrication, a version I'd created in my mind. The moments we once treasured now felt hollow, and every conversation was strained, like a poorly tuned instrument. "It means she's entering something significant," I explained, choosing my words carefully. "Something that involves not just us, but all of us." My father's gaze lingered on mine, his expression thoughtful. My mother's softly spoken words brought the conversation to a close. "Then I hope she's ready," she said, her eyes flicking to the picture one last time. "Because we don't do things halfway in this family." The weight of what was to come settled heavily upon me. I knew my family was waiting, their expectations palpable, and the meeting with you was no longer a distant possibility but an impending reality. As I sat alone in my car, the atmosphere felt dense, laden with thoughts that refused to dissipate. The knowledge that my family had seen your picture, formed opinions, and was now awaiting the next step hung over me like a shadow. My thumb hovered over your name on my phone, hesitating as I contemplated the conversation to come. How would you react to the news? Would you be understanding or upset that I had shared your picture without your consent? Taking a deep breath, I initiated the call. Your voice answered, warm and slightly hesitant. "Hey, everything okay?" I swallowed, my heart rate quickening as I prepared to share the truth. "Yeah, I just need to tell you something." A pause followed, and then your softer tone. "What is it?" I took a moment to collect my thoughts before speaking. "I showed my family your picture." The line went silent, and I waited, my pulse racing with anticipation. In this envisioned world, every sunrise carries the promise of a new beginning, every whisper of the wind a reminder of the love that awaits us. The asterisk, once a simple mark, has become a powerful reminder of the extraordinary testament to the power of love. A love that transforms the ordinary into the sublime, and the mundane into the majestic. The memory of you is an eternal flame, a steady warmth that pierces the coldest nights and lights the way forward. This unwavering hope is the anchor that holds me fast, a beacon that guides me through life's tempests. The asterisk, a delicate yet potent symbol, serves as both promise and prayer, a reminder that no matter what the future holds, my heart will forever beat with the singular hope of